truth be told, I actually filmed the bulk of the content for this video about 3 months ago, and I simply did not get around to editing it yet. So my hair looks a little bit different. I actually think this was before I cut off 9 inches of my hair, so it doesn't look as good as how it has come to look in more recent times. And so I wanted to just let you know that, hey, you're not just having like a bad memory that my hair kind of reverted back a few steps ago, but I really didn't want to refilm the bulk of the information of this content because I had really felt it was well thought out and well planned, and I just wanted to be able to go ahead with what I actually said and present that to you. Have you been thinking about making the journey of transitioning your own hair to your own natural silvery color? Have you been wondering if it's the right time to start? Or have you just started your journey, but you're still not feeling quite solidly sure about it? If that sounds like you, or even if you're well on your way and you just enjoy still watching videos like this, you are in the right place, because up ahead I've got 9 signs for you. If you're experiencing even 3 or 4 or more of these signs, chances are really good, my friend, that you are ready to begin your own silver hair growing out, your own transition journey, or if you've started, that you are in the right place. And of course, if you're well on your way, I'm sure it'll just solidify it even more for you, but I'm pretty sure you're unshakable by now. But thanks for being here anyway. I love having you here, and I love your support and your interest. That's all coming up right here. Number 1, you just can't help but peruse social media, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube for all kinds of pictures on grand brais or women or men who have fully transitioned or are at various stages along the way. In fact, you can't seem to get enough. And the more you look, the more fascinated you are, the more drawn in you are, the more gorgeous you think these people look. And if you've had the opportunity to see their before pictures, you definitely think they look far better after their hair has grown out. If this sounds like you, you've already hit the number 1 sign that you are ready or very close to being ready to starting your own transition now, if you haven't already begun. So have you been having any of this? Have you been perusing these grand brais photos or videos or fully transitioned people? What's your take on it? What has been so for you? What have your thoughts, your observations been? Let me know below. Would love to hear from you. The second sign, I already touched on it. The more you look, the more beautiful, handsome, gorgeous you find these people to be. In fact, if you can see befores, if you happen to come across before pictures or transition pictures of some of these people, you notice that they actually, in fact, do look better. Their skin looks more radiant, more glowy, more refreshed, even younger, definitely more attractive, and that even their skin color might pop a little bit more vibrantly with their natural color grown out, or at least framing around their face, than they did with the dye color. Then that is sign number 2 that you are ready to start your own transition. Sign number 3 that you in fact are ready to start your own transition to your natural hair color is that the more you look at these pictures and videos of other people who have gone before you or who are far on their own journey ahead of you, the more you actually start to picture your own self and imagine what you would look like with your hair fully transitioned. In fact, you've gone so far as to start really identifying with people whose hair texture and maybe even their hairstyle is similar to yours, and now you can transpose what their hair grown out looks like onto your face, and you do so with more and more frequency. If you've been doing this, you've hit the 3rd sign that you are ready to start your own journey to your natural graying hair color. Sign number 4 that you are actually ready to start your own journey to transition your gray hair is that the more you look at pictures and videos of other people and the more you've been imagining it on yourself, the prettier you're actually starting to think that you'll look with it now. Whereas at one point, and actually probably for most of your hair dyeing adventures in your life, you've been like this about the idea of showing those grays, you now are actually starting to think, I think maybe I might actually look even prettier with my own natural hair color than with all this dye. Have we had it all wrong all along, us people who keep dyeing our hair thinking that's the only way to look good? You're starting to wonder that too. In fact, that's another sign. That's sign number 5. You're starting to question if everyone else has been seeing it wrong, because now that you've taken off the lenses of societal conditioning about gray hair looking old or making people look old, you're now starting to realize that in fact they actually look better than they do with dyed hair. Sign number 6. Even when you're not perusing images on social media or videos on YouTube, you keep imagining the images of the wonderful, lovely, beautiful people that you have seen in those images and videos, and they stick in your mind throughout the day, regardless of whatever it is you're doing. They're sort of back there in the background, and at times they even come to the foreground. So even when you're not actually looking at those images, they are in your mind more and more and more of the time. Along with them, you're imagining yourself more and more and more of the time of what you would look like with your own hair fully grown out. Sign number 7. The idea of actually stopping dyeing your hair is starting to sound like a big relief. In fact, you're starting to notice that the endless rounds of dye and battling the emerging little white sparklers is starting to be somewhat exhausting and a bit futile. And whereas for a long time the idea of this seemed quite mortifying, you now are starting to actually think that maybe having your gray hair would actually look prettier than the dyed hair has looked all along, and you're starting to wonder why you didn't have this point of view before. Sign number 8. You might not have ever really thought about hair dye before and what those chemicals are doing. In fact, if you were like me, you probably just didn't really think too much of it at all and probably thought it was like safe. I mean, everyone puts it on their head, so it's not harmful, right? That's what I always sort of thought, except that I didn't even really think that much of it at all. But now all of a sudden you're thinking more about that and you're starting to at least wonder, if not actually be feeling concerned about the chemical cocktail that you're slathering on your scalp and basking and soaking in for anywhere between 20 and 45 minutes at a time, depending upon the type of dye concoction it is that you have. And whereas you didn't really have concerns about this before, you're thinking more and more and more about that as the time is going by, and your concerns are starting to rise. If this is happening to you, this is another sign that you are ready, or just about ready, to begin your own personal journey into transitioning into your glorious natural hair color. Sign number 9. In a way, we're kind of back to number 1 because you just can't stop looking at all those fabulous images and videos of gorgeous, handsome, beautiful women probably, but maybe men too, who have transitioned their own hair or who are on their own journey and well on their way, might I add, and you just can't seem to get enough, and you just can't stop thinking about it, and you just can't stop noticing how wonderful they actually look. If this is you, my friend, or if you've even had, I would say 3 or 4 of these or more, chances are very good that you really are ready to begin your own transition to your natural, silvery, wonderful gray hair color. And if you haven't come to know that 100% sure within yourself at this point, I would recommend just sitting with yourself and just getting quiet so that it can become clear to you. This was one element I didn't have available to me. I have always been fairly meditative, fairly introspective, but during that last 1.5 to 2 years before I actually jumped on this bandwagon, I was dealing with a lot of exterior stuff with elders and aging people and all kinds of stuff going on. I was scattered all over the place. I was not sitting down. I was not getting introspective. I wasn't just stopping to say, hey, this is where my mind has been continuously resting. I think I need to take a look at this here. This indicates something here. If I would have done that, I probably would have started growing out my hair a lot sooner than I did. And if you're like most of us who have started our own silver hair journey, the one thing that will probably be present for you once you start is that you'll be wishing that you had started sooner. I couldn't help but regret at least a part of the last year before I finally jumped on this path for myself, because I knew there was so much going on with me that I knew 100% that if I hadn't been so razzled all over the place, if I would have just maybe even taken 1 or 2 times at maybe between 20 and 30 minutes and just really sat with myself and acknowledged where my mind kept continuously resting on regarding this, I would have come to this choice a lot sooner. And my gray hair would probably be at least down to here right now, or maybe there. Where would yours be if you recognize that you are ready to start now, versus if you do like I did and don't sit with yourself and recognize it and then jump on it? You will look back at those times, because you will know it. Once you get to that point, you will know it, and you will look back and you will say, oh, I could have had this much growth already. So my friends, that is my offering. Those are my tips, and that is my advice based on my own hard-won way of winning it, if that makes any sense at all, or not. So take it if you will, leave it if you must. And anyway, as always, it's wonderful to see you here. Let me know which of those things resonate for you. And by the way, if any of this is resonating with you, let me know in the comments below. Have any of the things I've mentioned so far been something that has been true for you? Have you been experiencing any of these things? Let me know below. Let us know. And if you have any questions, let me know that too. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so and clicking the bell so that you don't miss a thing.